Hi, I'm Magnus Walker and greetings from a hot and sunny downtown LA. Today I'm going to let you in on a little secret. I actually am a former Ferrari owner, and I'm not talking about this new F8 Spyder, all 720 horsepower of it. I'm talking about my 1979 308 GTB Ferrari that I owned in the 90s. Mine cost 20 grand, this one costs about 400. So let's take it out for a drive and see how far they've come in the past 20 years. Kind folks at Ferrari loaned us this car. Me and my missus, baby Hannah, are just going for an overnight, but as Hannah's left all her luggage in the Big Apple, this is what we're traveling with for our overnight trip. Thankfully, it fits in the trunk of the prancing pony, and now's the time to rock and roll. So just like that, with a push of the red button, the 3.9 litre twin turbo 720 horsepower motor roars to life. And let's not forget that 568 foot-pound of torque, revving all the way to 8,000 RPM. So with race mode selected, it's time to get out on my favorite road, have some fun, and see how this car is in the twisties. So Ferrari says the F8 is the evolution of the species. Their first mid-engine V8 car debuted in 1975 with the 308 GTB. That car was fiberglass when it first came out. So let's see how far they have progressed over the past 45 years. So gone is the clickety-click manual 5-speed gated shifter of the original 308, now replaced with a 7-speed F1 derived paddle shift 7-speed that can be driven in auto mode or manually with the paddles. Wild at heart is another Ferrari description. I actually prefer weapons grade street missile. The V8 twin turbo has zero lag, it's super punchy, it's super grippy, it downshifts really quick with that double clutch transmission, it's super seamless, there's enough torque to really rocket you up these steep inclines, through the gears and then back down the box while going through the corners. All in all, a super intoxicating, thrilling, exciting, fun drive. So coming down the hill, the Ferrari F8 brakes really inspire a lot of confidence to brake late. So this tight 180 hairpin I decided was best taken in second gear. Here I stopped to drop off me baby Hannah so she could get out and shoot this little section of me driving away. She really does make me look good and is really doing a great job shooting all this just on my iPhone. So at this point we took a little breather, stopped, took some photos and figured we'd step back in time and take a little tour around the car. So before we go for a drive in the new F8 Tribuno, let's go over the specs. 720 horsepower, 568 foot-pound of torque, all from a 3.9 litre V8 twin turbo. 0 to 60 in 2.9 seconds, top speed of 211 miles an hour, F1 inspired 7-speed dual clutch, and zero turbo lag, all in a car that weighs 3,086 pounds. So let's take a closer look at it. So obviously the Ferrari stands out in this shade of yellow. No car's complete without the iconic prancing pony badge on the front. The front headlight and turn signals are super integrated into the swooping fender, leading over the mirrors and into the swooping air ducts, feeding air into the engine there. The rear spoiler is super tight and integrated. Essentially this reminds me of a Ferrari Dino on steroids, a car that I always wanted. I ended up with a 79 308 GTB that was a whole lot of fun. Here I really like the turn signals. The car is rolling on 20-inch wheels, 9-inch on the front and 11-inch on the rear with I believe 235 and 305 tires. So to me the whole car is just organic, it's seamless, it looks muscular, but it all blends together as one sort of smooth contour without really a square edge on the car. So let's take a look inside. Obviously it is a 2-pedal car. That is the 7-speed double clutch F1 inspired transmission. There is a cute little Ferrari key fob. The dashes are made up of carbon fiber, Alcantara, and some other sort of designer bits. Of course, there is the iconic prancing pony. From above, that roofline is really, really awesome, seamless. I really like the way it looks, but I'm probably driving it the whole time with the roof up. But in real life, this is how quick the roof does go up and down. So let's get back on the road and let's start having some fun. So on LA's notoriously grooved and sectioned freeways, I was actually surprised at how compliant the Ferrari suspension was, with no super harsh juddering, towing, tramlining, or hopping over the grooved sections of the 405 as we headed down a PCH. It's always amazing the sights you see on LA's freeways. Only time will tell if the F8 Spyder will become as iconic as the Ferrari Testarossa. After all, who didn't watch Miami Vice and dream of owning one of those? Which Ferrari poster would you want on your wall? The F8 Spyder or the iconic Testarossa? So here we are heading northbound on the iconic Pacific Coast Highway, about to drive past one of my favorite places, Neptune's Net. If you find yourself heading northbound on PCH, just remember any right turn that you make will lead you onto one of these awesome canyon mountain roads, which is super exciting and fun to drive. This uphill canyon section is always fun, combination of second, third, fourth gear, up and down the box into these sweeping turns and tight hairpins. Trying to get on the gas as quickly as possible. That'll thrust you way up. This is where that zero turbo lag and massive torque comes in super handy. Being at one with nature, with stunning views on an open road during the middle of the week, is always one of the ideal things about being in Southern California. Like I always say, these accessibility to world-class driving roads right on my doorstep. The F8 Spyder inspires a lot of confidence to push harder and faster up the hill. The 245-305 tire combo gives an awesome amount of grip. The lightweightness and nimbleness of the car is really apparent as it corners like it's on rails, and it's explosively accelerating up and down the hill. It's another one of those pinch yourself, fun-filled moments as to how did I get here, enjoying this awesome car. The brakes inspire a lot of confidence that you're always going to be able to stop going down this sweeping, fast downhill descending stretch. This whole downhill section's all about getting in a rhythm, a flow, and basically being at one with the car, whilst taking in somewhat of the view. So we're finished with the mayhem of the downhill slalom section. Now we're slowing our roll and easing up our pace as we head north on PCH. It's surprising how comfortable and calm and quiet the F8 is, especially for the fact that it's a Spyder with a hard top. Of course, we have to have a stop at the iconic Malibu sign, get out, snap a few photos, because after all, it's a memorable moment. Chasing iconic sunsets is one thing that all the Ferrari Tifosi fans love to do from behind the wheel of the prancing pony. It is kind of amazing, after we drove past hundreds of cars parked on the street, we were able to find this really idyllic parking spot right on the beach, right as the sun was setting over the mountains. Seemed like a perfect way to end a very memorable day. We'd covered almost 250 miles and almost burnt through a full tank of gas, creating these memorable moments in what was a very fun, exciting, enjoyable, and somewhat comfortable ride, the Ferrari F8 Spyder.